Hello everyone, this is Cloud5380 with my guide on the Abyssal Demon Slayer assignments. In this guide we will be talking about the skills required to fight them, who assigns them as a task, best location to do the task, best strategy using their weaknesses, recommended equipment from highest to lowest, tips and tricks, and of course the key drops from them. Now you can choose a certain section of this guide if you wish, or just click the play all option, make sure you have annotations turned on. So, to start this guide off, we will talk about the skills required to fight them. So, to be assigned Abyssal Demons as a Slayer assignment requires you to have a minimum of 85 Slayer. Any lower than that, then you will not be assigned them as a task. Their combat level is 124, they have 1500 life points, they have a melee based attack, and their max hit is 82. No Slayer specific item is required to kill them, however they have the ability to teleport themselves and you around the room, so a little bit annoying of that. Despite their high combat level, their overall attack rate and max hit is not very high compared to a lot of other monsters, so you shouldn't have too much of a hard time with these guys. But I still recommend you have at least 95 plus combat and 43 plus prayer before fighting these guys seriously. So that's it for the skills. Now we will talk about who can assign them to you as a task. So, the lowest Slayer Master to assign Abyssal Demons as a task is Simona. She can be found in the Polnaviac desert area, and you must have completed the Smoking Kills quest in order to be able to ask her for tasks. You also must have 85 combat and 35 Slayer. Now, I do recommend, if you're going to be asking her for frequent tasks, to have 95 combat before asking her. This will just increase the speed of the assignments, and obviously Slayer is all about how fast you can complete the tasks, so that's what I recommend at least. You don't have to go with that. Simona assigns between 120 to 185 Abyssal Demons. The next Slayer Master you can ask to assign them as a task is Duradel or Lapalok. Duradel is replaced by him after you complete Wild Gothic Sleeps, but they both have the same function. They can be found in Shiloh Village, and you must have completed the Shiloh Village quest in order to reach them. You need both 100 combat and 50 Slayer to use them as a Slayer Master. I do recommend having 110 combat before asking them for frequent tasks though, just to increase the speed of the assignments. But like I said before, you don't have to go with this, it's just an advisory thing. Both can assign between 130 to 200 Abyssal Demons. The other Slayer Master is Curadal. She is the highest Slayer Master and can be found inside the Ancient Cavern. You must have completed the Barbarian Training minigame in order to reach her. To use Curadal as a Slayer Master, you need both 110 combat and 75 Slayer. Now it's up to you to wait till you're 120 combat before asking her for tasks, but it can be done without it. You may just find it's a lot quicker to stay one Slayer Master below until then for speedier tasks. Curadal assigns anywhere between 150 to 280 Abyssal Demons, which is quite a lot, but is a good amount of XP for you. Anyways, that's it for the Slayer Masters. On to the locations where you can fight them. Okay, so there are three main locations where you can fight the Abyssal Demons. The first is being in the Abyssal area. This can be accessed using the Fairy Rings after you complete Fairy Tale Part 2. This area contains obviously the Abyssal Demons, but also contains Abyssal Guardians, Walkers and Leeches. Now, to access this area, we go to the Fairy Ring in Sonaris and type in the code ALR, and this will take us straight to the Abyssal area. Now, unlike the Abyss used in runecrafting, this won't skull you, so this is an area where your items to a certain extent will be safe, unless obviously you get killed. The only way in and out is by the Fairy Ring or if you teleport. Now, I don't really recommend this area. First off is because obviously Abyssal Demons are non-aggressive, but the other monsters in this area are, so while you're trying to fight the demons you are getting interrupted by these other monsters, and there's very few demons scattered around the area, so it's quite hard to kill them. The positives though is obviously because you're near a Fairy Ring, you can then obviously get to the bank in Sonaris much quicker, and then obviously if you're going to be using a lot of prayer, you can use the code to go to Mudskipper Point where there's a nearby altar and recharge there. But like I said, I really wouldn't recommend this area unless you have no other choice really. Okay, the second location is in the Slayer Tower, which is located partly north from Canaphis. The Abyssal Demons are located right at the very top of the tower, so if you don't have the agility shortcut to use the chain, it can take you a bit of time getting up there, and obviously if you need to use a bank, it's a bit of a run down. Obviously, we'll just show you the route from Canaphis, but at least you're going to follow the path and head straight up. Now, you're going to literally have to go around Slayer Tower repeatedly to keep going up the staircases. Obviously, like I said, if you have the chain, you can climb up there, but be careful of the Aberrant Spectres. I forgot about them, so I took a few hits there. Go past a few aggressive monsters, but they shouldn't really harm you too much, and then you will eventually be in the room where the Abyssal Demons are. Now, obviously, it's no one in here at the moment, but that's not very normal for this kind of location, because like I said, a lot of people don't like to use the Abyss, and there's only one other location apart from that, and that's has certain requirements. You will find most of the time players with the Abyssal Demon Slayer assignment will be coming here, but there's a few in here and they're all quite well spread out, so the task can be done fairly quickly. So anyways, it's on to the final location, which is Kuradal's dungeon. Now there's a fair amount of Abyssal Demons in here, but obviously you can only access it if you've been assigned the task by Kuradal herself, so that obviously requires you to have certain combat and Slayer. Now there are a few other monsters in here, but they shouldn't do much harm on your way around. You just need to work your way past the Hellhounds, Demons, Dragons and Gargoyles, and then you shall reach the Abyssal Demons. Like normal, they are non-aggressive, so you don't have to worry about being ready when you walk in the portal. You just want to get in there, get yourself set up, and then begin the combat with them. This dungeon is easy to leave and access if using a ferocious ring, as you can teleport straight to the dungeon, so trips to and from the bank are much easier. This area is very effective, so you will find a lot of higher leveled players in here, but there shouldn't be as many in here as there normally is in the Slayer Tower location. Well, that's all about the locations. Next is strategies using their weaknesses. So, Abyssal Demons surprisingly have quite a few weaknesses, which comes in handy for us. Their main weakness is slash style attacks. You'll find most weapons have this attack style, so this will come very beneficial for you. They are also very weak against magic attacks, such as blast, wave and surge spells, so that's an option for you mages out there. And now with a recent update, they are now weak against these bolts and arrows known as Abyssal Bane bolts and arrows. I can't remember the exact conditions you need to get these. You have to look it up on the RS wiki, I'm afraid. So yeah, obviously, so if you're a warrior, ranger or major, this will come very handy, these different weaknesses, so leaves you a lot of options to explore. They are also weak against the effects of Silverlight and Darklight. Both swords do extra damage against demons, which may be useful for players with low attack levels, so if you haven't got a particularly high attack level, because you've got more strength than defense, this will prove very useful for you. Just a little extra tip for you all: to increase the time of your stay at the demons, use healing methods such as Saradome and Godsword, Enhanced Excalibur, Bunyip or Unicorn Stallion, or you can use a Beast of Burden Familiar to carry yourself some supplies. Well, that's all for strategies. Now for recommended equipment from highest to lowest. So, like I said in the previous section, the Abyssal Demons have a fair few weaknesses, one main one being against slash type attacks. So if you're going to be using a melee approach, the recommended equipment I have given will give you the best slash attack bonus possible, while being able to inflict a lot of damage and of course protecting yourself from their attacks. So this is the recommended equipment I have given. So for helmet, you either want full Slayer helmet, black mask, helmet and Tizar, warrior helmet and fighter hat. For cape, you want either Completionist cape, Soul Wars cape, Fire cape, Trim Skill cape, Ardougne cloak or God cloak. For amulet, you either want Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Glory, Demon Horn necklace or God stole. For weapon, you either want Chaotic Longsword, Chaotic Rapier, Abyssal Vine Whip, Abyssal Whip, Saradomin Sword, God Sword, Dragon Longsword or Scimitar. For shield, you want a Dragon Defender, Dragon Fire Shield, Rune Defender, Dragon Square Shield or any lower equivalent. So for body, you're going to want Bandos Chestplate, Dragon Plate Body, Barrows Plate Body, which is like any of the melee ones basically, like Darox, Torags, etc. Rune Plate Body, Proselyte Hauberk or Initiate Hauberk. Obviously if you're going to use any of those last two there, I recommend you use Protect Melee Prayer whilst wearing that armour. For legs, you're going to want either Bandos Tassets, Dragon Plate Legs, Barrows Plate Legs, like again the same type as the plate body, Rune Plate Legs, Proselyte Cuisse or Initiate Cuisse. For gloves, you're going to want either Goliath gloves, Barrows gloves or Dragon gloves. For boots, you're going to want Steadfast boots, Dragon boots, Rune boots or Rock climbing boots. For ring, you're going to either want like a ring of wealth to increase the chance of getting rare drops, a Phrenic ring, which is like the warriors one, Onyx ring imbued, Dragonstone ring imbued, or Berserker ring imbued. And if using Cyrodiil's dungeon, Ferocious ring can be used to inflict an extra 40 damage on top of your normal max hit. For your inventory, you're going to want some form of emergency teleport just in case, either extreme or super attack, strength and defense potions to increase the speed of the tasks, some prayer or super prayer potions, some food like sharks or better, Sour Dome and Godsword or enhanced Excalibur will come in handy for healing, and also, like I said, a healing familiar will help increase kills per trip. Now obviously this is all recommendations, you can make any changes to this as you want. This is just basically from what I've used in the past and what I recommend to be the best in getting these tasks done quickly in the melee style setup. Okay, so also Abyssal Demons are weak against magic, so if you want to use a magic style setup, the recommended armor and weapons I have given is to give you as best magic bonus as you can to increase the accuracy of your spells and the damage. So if you're going to use a magic style setup, this is what you're going to want. So for helmet, you're going to either want Full Slayer helmet, Hex Crest, Healer hat, Farseer helm, Infinity hat or Mystic hat. For cape, you're either going to want Completionist, God Fire or God Cloak. Amulet, you're going to either want Arcane Stream necklace, Amulet of Fury or Amulet of Glory. For weapon, you're going to want either Chaotic Staff, Starflight or Master Wand. For shield, you want Celestial Surge Box, Arcane Spirit Shield, Mage's Book, God Book or Dragonfire Shield. For body, you're going to either want a Rim's Robe top, Infinity top or Mystic top. I know there's also the Ganodermic ones, but that's up to you if you want to use that or not. Legs, you've also got a Rim's Robe skirt, Infinity bottoms or Mystic Robe bottoms. For gloves, you're going to want Spellcaster gloves, Barrows gloves, Infinity gloves or Mystic gloves. For boots, you're going to want either Rage Fire boots, Infinity boots, Wizard boots or Mystic boots. And for ring, if you're going to be using Cyrodiil's dungeon, Ferocious ring can be used to inflict an extra 40 damage on top of your normal max hit. I don't think there's other rings that will increase the amount of magic damage you're going to do without this. Or of course you've got the Ring of Wealth to increase your drops. For your inventory, you're going to want an emergency teleport just in case. You're going to want runes for wave or surge spells, and make sure you have enough for the task, so depending on what elemental one you're going to do, whether it's air, water, earth or fire, will depend on what runes you need. Some magic potions, you know, as an option if you want to boost your magic up a bit and perhaps do more damage and accuracy. A few prayer potions just in case. Some food like sharks or better, and also a healing familiar will help increase kills per trip. Again, like I said, this is only recommendations for armor and weapons. You can make any changes you want. This is just my personal preferences to it. And lastly is the range style setup. Like I said, with the release of the Abyssal Bane bolts and arrows, range has become a quite good method of killing them if using those, but you can use other bolts and arrows as well. But this is the setup you're going to want, and this is to increase as much range attack bonus as possible, obviously while maintaining good defense, because you're going to want to be hitting these demons fairly accurately. So this is the setup you're going to want. So for helmet, you're going to either want Full Slayer helmet, Focus Sight, Void Ranger helmet or Armadillo helmet. For cape, you want Completionist cape, Avis Device or Soul Wars cape. For amulet, you want Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Ranging or Glory. Weapon, you either want Chaotic Crossbow, Crystal Bow or Rune Crossbow. For shield, you either want Void Knight Deflector, God Book or Dragonfire Shield. For body, you want either Armadillo Chestplate, Black Dragonhide Body, Elite Void Knight Top or Void Knight Top. For legs, you want Armadillo Chain Skirt, Black Dragonhide Chaps, Elite Void Knight Robe or Void Knight Robe. For gloves, you either want Swift Gloves, Barrows Gloves, Black Dragonhide Van Braces or Void Knight Gloves. For boots, you want either Glaven Boots, Ranger Boots or Snakeskin Boots. And for ring, you either want Archer's Ring Imbued, Archer's Ring, or of course the Ring of Wealth to increase your drops, or if using Cyrodiil's dungeon, Ferocious Ring can be used to inflict an extra 40 damage on top of your normal max hit. For your inventory, you're going to want an emergency teleport just in case, some ranging potions to increase your range level and obviously accuracy and max hit, Abyssal Bane bolts, Diamond bolts enchanted, Runite bolts or lower, obviously make sure you bring enough for the task, a few prayer potions and some food such as sharks or better, and a healing familiar will help increase kills per trip. And like I said for the previous two, this is only recommendations, you can make any changes to this if you want, this is just my personal preferences. Well, that's all for the recommended equipment. Next is tips and tricks. So unfortunately I don't have a great deal of tips and tricks for Abyssal Demons, because obviously the setup I give you is probably the best tip and trick I can give. It's just a few ones I have used in my other guides which also can prove useful in these tasks and also help you out a little bit. So this first tip and trick is mainly just to help increase the amount of kills you're going to get in the time you're there. As the Abyssal Demons have the annoying ability to teleport around the room or teleport yourself around the room, you will find you and the Abyssal Demon is moving about fairly often. Now what I like to do, just to make sure you get as many kills in as possible, is just keep watching the nearby Abyssal Demons around the one you're currently fighting, because as soon as you kill that one you're going to want to go for the closest one there. So as you can see, as we're moving around, I'm eyeing up the closest demon, and as soon as that demon's dead you then want to go make a combat with that other one that's close by. Now don't worry about obviously the loot, I will get onto how to collect that effectively in a second. So this method is what I've used in a lot of my other Slayer assignment guides, and this is just basically how to loot correctly while being able to fight the demons at the same time. Now there's always going to be a few drops that you're going to want from these guys. I mean, if you want to collect the Infernal Ashes for prior XP or just to collect, you will be wanting to pick up their drops fairly often. So what my method is once you see what drop you've got and you're in combat with another Abyssal Demon, as soon as you finish landing a hit on one of your demons, quickly run and pick up one piece of the loot, and then quickly click the demon again to get another hit in, and basically repeat this until you've got all the loot you want. By doing this, you're obviously attacking the Abyssal Demon without too much interruption, and you're not losing any loot, because it is quite easy to forget about it while you're trying to concentrate on killing as many demons as possible. Also, you can wait until you're quite close to your drops, because obviously if you're teleporting around the room with the demon, chances are you're going to be right next to the drop, like I have been at a couple of points. As you can see, I've literally been able to pick up all my loot in one go and then resume the combat with the demon without any interruption. But obviously this will involve a bit of clicking, which you may not be interested in doing, but I think it comes in handy, so it's an option for you there. So this final tip and trick is a method I call prayer flashing, which other people obviously know about. Basically what this is just waiting for the Abyssal Demon to make an attack on you and then quickly turning the protect melee off, and then when it's about to resume combat again, turning it back on. Now you're only going to really want to use this when your life points are quite low and you're going to be using your healing methods such as the Enhanced Excalibur, Sauron Omen, Godsword, or perhaps your familiars. So by doing this, obviously you've got to get into the rhythm of it first. You kind of got to do it at the same rate as the Abyssal Demon's attacking, otherwise you will probably end up mess up and taking a few hits. But once you got used to it, you'll be able to save the prayer drain rate quite a lot, and this will obviously decrease the amount of prayer potions you're going to need and the amount of food you're going to need as well. So obviously watch how I'm doing it. It's as soon as the demon's finished making an attack, I turn it off, and then as soon as I know it's about to hit again, I turn it back on. Obviously the bonus here is because you're going to have high armor anyways, even if you do mess up a couple of times, chances are the demon's not actually going to inflict any damage on you at all. So this is just a small tip and trick which may help you in the long run. My final tip and trick is if you plan on being there for quite a while, which you probably will be, bring some Beast Burden pouches with you just to help increase some of your loot and make your trip much more profitable. So last but not least is the rewards and key drops from them. So you will earn 150 Slayer XP per demon. A task of 100 therefore will get you 15,000 Slayer XP, and even more for a higher amounts assigned like 150, 200, etc. Just below is the key drops I've written that you should look out for. Obviously they do drop other stuff, but this is the main loot you want to collect and what I find the most useful. So you want to collect any charms, weapon and armor. You want to collect rune battle axes, 2H swords, abyssal whips, rune chain bodies, rune helms, rune square shields and dragon helms. For runes and ammo you want to collect air, blood, chaos, lord, death and nature runes. For herbs you want to collect grimy ranar, irit, aventome, quam, gadentine, dwarfweed and lantadyme. For other, you want to collect coins, pure essence noted, adamant bars, clue scroll hard, court summons, ancient effigies, rune bars, dragon stone, abyssal demon head, which is of course very rare, and also the abyssal demons do drop from the rare drop table. 90% of the rare drop table is good money, and with a ring of wealth the chance of receiving something from it is increased, the highest reward being 20 million if you're lucky. Now, bringing runes for high alching drops can make your task very profitable. Almost all of the weapon and armor drops are good value to high alch. Of course, the abyssal whips don't go high alching in them. Well, that's pretty much it for my guide on these monsters. I am pretty sure I have covered almost everything and hopefully make your future tasks with these much more effective. Of course, if you have any questions about them, then feel free to ask in the comments section below. These tasks are very long-winded because you will get a lot of Abyssal Demons assigned, but they are very worthwhile for the XP, and you can make some very good money on their good drops and rare drops. And of course, obviously, Abyssal Whips will make you a few bit of money, and the rare drop table will also get you possibly something quite rare. So thanks for watching, everyone. I have worked hard on this, so if you'd be so kind to like, comment, favourite, subscribe, and of course share with your friends. Thank you, everyone, and happy slaying.